Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to you all, wherever it is that you are joining us from. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We welcome you to once again another exciting interview here on Track and Field Talknet. We hope that you are locked in and ready to go because we definitely are indeed ready to go also. We have an exciting interview that is planned for you all, one that will bring you information and insight on things that is happening. We are happy that you are here. We know that this weekend has been a really packed weekend and great things have been happening. But as we continue to explore the great things that is happening and explore all the things that we know has been happening here, whether it be in Jamaica or the Carifta Games that is happening, we see that our Carifta juniors there in Carifta in Trinidad is doing an exceptional job, and we are happy for them. But tonight, once again, we are definitely going to be speaking with one of our great athletes that we have that is a part of our national team, a senior athlete that we have definitely been watching as he grows in front of us as he becomes our national champion, our national record holder also. So definitely as you come on in wherever it is that you are, we ask that you will continue to follow us. And if it is that you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, that you will definitely go ahead and subscribe to our socials. We see that the socials are doing great and we thank you. But we will definitely do well with some more of your help if it as it relates to subscribing to our YouTube channel so that we can continue to bring to you great things as they go along. So definitely good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to you wherever it is that you're joining us from, or whenever it is that you may rewatch or watch this that is happening. We are happy that you are here with us. We are happy that all things are going great with you, and we thank you for continuously being here with us and continuously following us and being here in the state and the era that we are in. So tonight, as you come along and as you come on in, please remember to share and comment. Please remember to send on over the link to others so that they're able to be with us tonight as we speak to one of the greats. So definitely, we hope that your week has been a great one for you. We hope that everything has been going well for you and that anything that you have been manifesting will definitely manifest. So tonight with us, as I said before, we'll be having another exciting interview, and as you've been seeing us promoting, tonight we have with us our national record holder, our national 800-meter record holder, none other than Mr. Navasky Anderson, as we welcome him to our family. Good evening, Mr. Anderson. Good evening to you.
Good evening, and good evening to everyone who is watching. And hello, guys. What's up?
Thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you so much for joining us. We are happy that you afforded us the opportunity and to have this conversation with you. We thank you for, just taking the time out to be with us and to just allow us as a family to get to know you, or allow us as Jamaicans or other persons across the world to get to know you a little bit better off the track. We know that we tend to see you all the time on the track, but we really don't know our athletes or record holders or greats, or kings and our queens, what they are about or who they were or who they are off the track. So we thank you so much for coming and being a part of our family tonight and doing this with us.
Most definitely looking forward to a great session and just sharing a little bit about me off the track. As you said, many people know a lot, see me a lot on the track and stuff, but this is a great opportunity to kind of share what's also going up or off the track and things that are coming up, track meets and stuff like that, schedule. And yeah, just to have a great season. So definitely.
Thank you. Definitely. So let's kick start it. Tell us. So we have gotten the opportunity to see Big Navasky. Tell us about Baby Navasky. Navasky before track and field. What was it like for you? Who were you as a youngster and stuff growing up?
It's very difficult to picture Navasky without track and field because track and field played a very integral part of my life during my developmental stages ever since, you know, in primary school, ever since high school, all of that, track and field played a huge role. But I must say, also football and track and field was like basic beginning. That's kind of where I started out. Um, with life before track and field, I would say it involved a lot of. Okay, so life before track and field for me, I would say involved a lot of stuff like a lot of swimming, a lot of playing football, a lot of running home from school. I mean, yes, that's track and field, but after years and years after running home from like 5 miles, running home every day, going to the soccer field, playing football, going to the football field, playing football, swimming, stuff like that. Just like being such an active and outdoor child. Just like after years and years of doing that, I was just running cross country races, running different races, and was just always winning all the time. But to myself, I wasn't training. But it's when I grew older and started studying and understanding, what it means to get physically fit, understand what training is, realize that all those years when I was running home from school, playing football, swimming, all of that was just building a system that would later on turn out to be, just a super system that just allowed me to like break records and just keep running and just keep chasing my dreams and my goals.
Okay, interesting, wonderful, interesting. So I would have never known that there really isn't life before track and field for you. I mean, I hear you say in that there was football. So therefore, before track and field, or while you had track and field, you basically liked football or used to play football.
Yeah, yeah. And the reason why I said it was all it was like track and field is mostly surrounded by it because at one point after when I was in the fifth grade, when I was in fifth grade, that's the first time the coaches from San Diego High School approached me. After the coaches from San Diego High School approached me, they kept in contact with my parents, my mom and my grandma, over the course of a year. So by the time I reached grade six, they came for me again at a track meet in Kingston, and over and over again, I have to just keep speaking to them, getting to know them. I moved to live with my coach, so just imagine living with the coach and stuff like that, just waking up in the morning, training, after school, training. My coach wife was a teacher, so you go home, do some studying here and there. So all those years, it was just like consistently focusing on school and track and school, track and school makes it cool. So I
Track
would,
and school make it cool.
yeah. So that's been my focus literally all my life and until I transitioned fully into professional athlete, track and school.
Okay, interesting. Which parish may I ask you grew up in?
St. Anne, St. Anne. So I was born in Mandeville, at the Mandeville Hospital, of course, yeah. But I was raised in St. Anne, a small town called K Valley, St. Anne.
I know Kevali. I'm from
You
what
know,
town?
yeah, so that's my small town, born and raised. Everybody knew me, just running around the community, just like I'm always running, and I have a memory like I could remember one day I went to my school was having a cross country event and I was in the third grade and while being in the third grade they only allowed the guys that was like in sixth grade because it was like all age like a junior high school. It was a junior high school, so it was like from grade 1 to 9. It's Clarksonville all age school. A lot of great athletes all the way across. Chris and Gordon also went to Clarksonville all age school. You know, Nathan Allen, me and Nathan Allen is from the same place as well.
Same
So
place.
yes, there's like great tradition and background and building and stuff like that. And I remember one day just running up I snuck out to run a cross country event, and when I was in third grade, I won the cross country event, and a lot of people didn't believe that I won the event, and it was like, yeah, and there's no way that little 9-year-old boy just won the cross country event. So that led them to the teacher putting me in a 1500-meter race in sports day. When he put me in the 1500-meter race in sports day, basically everybody was like, if you really don't want that cross country race, prove it to us. They put me in the 1500-meter race as a third grader, and I lapped everybody at least 2 times in the race. And since then, everybody basically knew me as the guy the breeze blew around the track because I was so small and tiny. And yeah, it's track and field just stuck with me since then. It was just track ever since.
Very much. Your starting up to the so was is very interesting. So therefore, the long sprints chose you instead of you choosing the long sprints. Then would you say that?
Yes, definitely. Because of that system, like I have to give a lot of credit to my older brother. You know, I used to go to Homo Technical. He used to run track as well. Broke Central Champs record. He used to run on 4x1, 4x4 teams. My brother used to just, used to always have me on the football field playing. He used to always have me swimming. My brother just always made sure that I was always fit and stuff like that. And I used to sprint. I used to do everything. Used to do one, two. I used to do everything. But when I went to San Diego High School, I told my coach that I wanted to do the 400 meters and the 1500 meters. Because before then, I never ran the 800 meters before going to high school. I always just run the 400 and the 1500. But it's then my coach kind of explained to me that, hey, you can't just run the 400. You can't run the 400 and the 1500. It's gonna be the 4 and the 8 or the 8 and the 15. And I really didn't like the 800 meters at all. So I used to I used to not run the 800 and just stick to the 1500 meters, drop the 400 in high school, and I just guess I was just focused on the 1500. Whenever they gave me 800 meters to run, I did not want to run it because for some reason, for years, I just did not like the 800. It was just 1500 was my pet event. That was my baby. Love the 1500 with all my heart.
So very interesting. You see why it is that we do what we do here, because I would have never thought that you love
Hmm.
the 1500 because you do the 800 so well.
Yeah.
So let me ask the question then, jumping ahead. Would we ever see you run a 1500 again? I mean, professionally, like competitively, I mean?
Yes, this season I'm running way more 1500 meters this season because honestly, that was one of the issues why I wasn't in Jamaica in the Grand Slam. Because usually per season I just run one 1500 meter per season.
Like
Don't
when you
Yeah, I think I'm pretty good at the event, but I don't run it enough because before this season I would just run one 1500 meter to get fit. And I haven't spoke to my coach as far as it concerned the 1500 at the national championships yet. But I have it in my back of my head, like I wanna run the 1500 at the national championships. So hopefully you could get the guys to come out and run that as well. And I'm looking forward to doubling the 8 and the 15 at the championships. But yeah, I need to talk to my coach about that as well. But yeah, I'll have some 1500 meter in the schedule this season. Have some 1500 meter in the schedule this season, and I'm definitely putting my 100%. I'm putting my all into it. The national record is 3:37, and I've been training towards it. So yeah, hope
interesting.
for the best.
The national record for that 1500 has been there for a while,
Yeah,
actually. I mean, it is held by another great,
yeah,
um, himself and stuff. So it would be really a good thing to see it, I mean, to see it move or to see it being placed higher again by another grade in this class. I mean, that's our class record and our class app, but also I am open to see you try it, because nothing beats a trial but a failure.
that's
And the
right.
fact that you loved or still have a great feeling for the 1500, it would be good to see you in it. I know that, as you said, normally the 1500 you do it just like once in the season for your background training to just get you going and stuff like that. But the fact that you are thinking about it in that capacity to help build you, I'm sure once you do more of it, it will also help to strengthen the 800 meters.
Definitely. I think I need to. I've never really got to run like two or three 1500 meters in a season. So usually I open up the season, run 3:46 and 3:47, and then I was like, okay, that's a really nice 1500. Let's move on to the 800. So now I'm at the point where I don't want to just like, okay, I'm running a 1500 and then that's it for the season. When I run a 1500, see where I'm at, evaluate, and then back to the drawing board, and then hit it again. So yeah, I definitely have the 1500 meter on my mind, and I'm looking forward to get the standard out of the way. And as soon as I get the standard out of the way, I will be consistently running more 1500s to improve my development for sure.
Definitely. Welcome, Sally. Sally says that record I get broke this year. She's speaking about the 1500. She called it Navidan. So I guess she's also gaming to see that 1500 also, be
Hmm.
broken and watch you take that. And that for me, I think, especially if it gets to go at the national trials, I think that would even make it even very much better to
Yeah.
see that happening and stuff like that. I mean, Kimar Campbell was spectacular. We have watched him do these races as if it's a walk in the park. So we are open to see someone else within the long distance, the long sprints do it. I know earlier you said it is one of the reasons why you didn't do Grand Slam. I know Grand Slam has four episodes in the series. Is it something though then that you may be considering to be a challenger in one of those series? We know we have three series to go. One already may be closed, but we have two more after that. Is it something you may be considering?
With my current schedule,
It's
I
not
mean,
possible.
I'd love to, but with my current schedule, uh, depending on the dates when I'm flying to Jamaica, flying out from other meets and stuff like that. But yeah, it's something that I'd love to throw in at any point. So I'm definitely working with an open schedule, open mind. So just getting those 1500 meters in, and just keep building and just keep building and just keep going up. Yeah.
Oh, Sadly said to tell you it is Sadiki so that you know who it is.
Okay. My friends,
Okay.
my friends over here supporting.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you all so much for coming over and joining us here and supporting him also along the way as we go along. Kabiko asking if we will see you run a 400-meter too. Why was the pressuring over here though?
Um, that might not run a 400, but definitely might run a few 4x4s. But next year, the goal is to run a lot of 400-meter consistently. 2022, I was a part of the 4x4 relay at the Commonwealth Games, and 2026 Commonwealth Games coming back around. So I want to be ready and in shape because I'd love to run on the 4x4 at the Commonwealth Games again.
Jay,
They had no idea I was gonna run. They called me up. They said they needed me for the 4x4. I was like, all right, the country needs me. I woke up that morning. No one expected to see me on the 4x4. Everybody was shocked. I was like, I mean, I'm an 800-meter specialist. Of course, it takes a lot of speed work to also do the 800 meters. It takes a lot of speed and it takes a lot of strength. And that's one of the reasons why I love the 800 meters so much, because it's not just speed and it's not just strength.
thanks
It's
both.
a combination of both. So I trained to do both. I trained to do both the 400 and the 1500, and that's where the 800 meters come in play. So basically, my training is literally 400 and 1500-meter training, and that's the 800 meters.
That gives it 800. J3, we are just manifesting with Navasky at the moment. 2026 Commonwealth Game. He is manifesting, running again or being again a part of that 4x4 team that you guys compiled. It would be great. It was really a great scene. As you said, no one expected to see you there because, we're used to just seeing the 400 meters flat athletes running those 4x4. But lately we recognize that, we're seeing 800 meters in Jamaica from Jamaica running on those 4x4 or the mixed 4x4. We seen another of your long distance compatriot on the female side. That's Natoya Gould has run some of or mix on the mixed 4x4 before. So who knows? Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely, definitely. So, as I stated before, I know that you completed your master's, right? what area was your master's completed in? May I ask?
Also, I did my master's in science and kinesiology, and basically that idea. I don't know if you know Dr. Eddie Usain Bolt's physio.
Everella Edwards. That's my
Yeah.
physician.
Okay. So back in high school, I just remember my knee was really, really terribly injured with my knee and stuff like that, and my coach kept taking me there and stuff like that. Going to visit him in Kingston, and I could just remember like just visiting his office, seeing all of his pictures of him traveling with Usain Bolt, watching I Am Bolt, just seeing like him all the time in the video, and then it was just like I'm in high school thinking about like this guy is the guy who worked with Usain Bolt, worked with Mofar, and I work with everybody, and I'm literally sitting in his office, right, sitting in his, I'm like looking at everything around me, and I was like thinking of it like this is really what I wanted to do. Because when at St. Jago High School, I did both sciences and business because honestly, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I just decided to do 10 subjects with the sciences and the business. And after going to college, I decided that, okay, this is what I wanted to get into. So yeah, kinesiology is literally everything about for me in the sporting aspects is all about learning about the body, see what it helps me in a way of to see what my body can handle, helps me with taking care of injuries, just understanding the body in a whole. And that's one of the main reasons why I chose kinesiology and chose to get my master's in kinesiology. So it definitely helps.
Very interesting. Very
Yeah.
interesting. I'm going to ask Kimob questions. Kimob is saying, when will we be getting a Navasky versus Aerope race? Great training partners you two are, but when will we be getting one of those races? Seeing both of you guys go at it.
So for years, Mark and I have been talking, and we were always like, hey, you know what needs to happen? I need to go to Canada for a race, and you need to go to Jamaica for a race. We're always trying to plan like, um, you coming to Jamaica with me for a race, but then Grand Slam came in, went and ran in the Grand Slam. Actually, I'm trying to sort out everything. I have two races in Canada this season as well, so I'm trying to finalize all of that. So maybe both of us end up running in Canada. I'm not sure as yet. But in due time, me and Marco raced last year in a 1500, which was funny. But beside that, We've never raced again. But
Yeah, we have
this
never
year,
seen you guys at it like that before.
yeah,
We have just seen snippets of training when you
in
guys are entering
training,
and stuff, and that looks really, really interesting. So I guess that's why
yeah,
Mills wants to see it out there and can say, "Oh yes, this is it. This is it."
yeah. But yeah,
You
it was good that he went to Jamaica. I enjoyed. My family went and see him. Met my mom, met him for the first time. My little nephew, my sister, and stuff. So he had a great time in Jamaica. He enjoyed it. Of course, he won the 800 meters in Jamaica. So he definitely represented my
represent your camp well.
yeah, represented well. Even though we're not training together anymore, but we still connect and talk every day. Not literally every day, but still talk on a consistent basis and stuff. And he's a great guy. And yeah, it's just all love.
Oh, love, indeed, excellent.
Yeah.
You spoke of your profession outside of track and field in terms of kinesiology. And I mean, you spoke about it being all about the body and injuries. You rightfully said earlier on in your, career, you tend to be having injuries and stuff. How is injuries for you now? And how do you cope with that, if so be it?
Honestly, injuries injuries can be rough. I think that's the biggest barrier. That's the biggest issue I face. But I've learned a lot since the past 3 years, 3 4 years. I've learned a lot more because when injuries hit me, I think it hit me more mentally, because I'm not in the place where I need to be right now, and I'm trying to do everything to get back on point. So my way of how I deal with that, I just think about it as if it's not the end of the road, and I just have to keep going, keep going. So the next step. What's the next step? If I'm feeling something, if I'm injured right now, what's the next step? Whether it's if I can't run, I'm gonna have to hit the pool. I'm gonna have to be swimming. I'm gonna have to be in the weight room. I'm gonna have to be doing some core. So I just find ways of how to deal with it, because at the end of the day, I know everyone go through injuries, and I know injuries suck, but I just have to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Just have to deal with it and get pushed past it, because at the end of the day, no one is not gonna feel sorry for you. You don't make the world championship team. Like, everybody just gonna look past it and just watch the races that are gonna be running. So I just have to deal with it, get over it, and yeah.
Well, I hope for you, or we here hope for you, a injury-free 2025 season as best as possible, so that you are able to materialize and manifest all your aspirations that you'd want to have in the 2025 season. I know the calendar is a long calendar.
Hmm.
2025 season, it's very long. And for me, I think that being that the calendar is so long, or, especially World Championship is so far, when you look at it in terms of the date, in terms of it's 9 months in the year, we have World Championship this time around for 2025. It tends to require plan, a very strategic planning for you and your coach, or you and your team. How is it that you and your team sit down and decide what is it that you would want to take on, or when it is that you would want to take on, or when it is that you want to show out and then pull back and push back out again, especially before 2025 season?
Yes, definitely. So last year was Olympic year. Standard was 144.7. Now the standard is 144.5. So it's gonna take a lot more running. It's gonna take more appearances than last year. Last year, I probably I run a few races. I didn't run. I probably run in total 10 races last year or less. I didn't run a lot of races last year, because of injuries as well and stuff like that. But this year is going to take a lot more racing. It's going to take a lot more planning, as you said. It's going to take a lot more patience. Have to be patient with it. Have to keep that in mind, because it's such a long year, and it's going to take. It's just like you have to consistently keep going to the gas station to fill up the tank. You have to consistently make sure you have that training base underneath. You gotta consistently make sure you're not feeling because at some point of the season you can just you're feeling great, you're feeling good, you're running well, and then all of a sudden your body just start getting weak. You're not getting the power you need, you're not getting the efficiency you need. So you have to consistently make sure that at all points of the season, when you're racing, you have enough gas in the tank. So it takes a lot of planning, spacing out the races, choosing the right races, make sure I'm selecting my races properly, and not just selecting a race just because I feel like I need to run, but choosing my opportunities wisely and taking, you know, um, making the right decisions for each and every race. Yeah, so each race that I'm running this season, definitely I've put a lot of thought into it and put in a lot of thinking behind it and all of that, so I could get the results that I desire.
Interesting. It, I'm sure we will be excited to see you run more races once it is within your sphere and it still allows you to leave more in the tank for when the championship comes around and stuff. I know you said that the World Championship standard for this year is 144.50. I know that so far for this season, I think you have opened it and running close to 140, what, 147. I think you have run already this season. Am I
147.1.
one right? What does it take for you to move from that 147.1 to get into the sphere of where it is that qualifying mark is?
um Honestly, that 147.1 was a fitness test in the middle of the indoor season. For some reason, I don't know what was going around, so I was sick terribly, terribly, terribly. And then after recovering, I was like, okay, um, let's just run an 800 indoors. We decided we're gonna run an 800. Me and my teammate, we just went like it was practice. And after the end of the race, it was 147.1. So it was like, okay, I guess 147.1. Let's move on from here. So it's I don't definitely don't want to overthink it. I don't want to think about the time, because all my best races is when like I totally just focus on my execution and just don't worry about the time all I want to run or anything like that, because all I know I could be in the right race, have the right opportunity, execute properly, and I can look at the clock at any day and see 1:43, 2 on the clock any day. So I have to be ready, be prepared for that, and it starts with believing in myself. I can't just say my coach can say, "Oh, you can do this, you can do that." It starts with me believing myself first, and actually sticking to my plan, executing, be ready to adjust at any point in the race, and taking full advantages of all the races underneath my belt. Because definitely, I train a lot, I train hard, train 6 days a week. Sometimes I double, sometimes I do 3 sessions in one day. So I've definitely been working, definitely been training. So I'm just leave it all in God's hands. And regardless of what happened, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep pushing because that's just who I am. I'm a fighter.
Interesting. You said you train 6 days a week. So my
Mm.
question to you is, how do you manage the athletic responsibilities with your other commitments? How do you get other commitments or other things in with these commitments that you have in the athletic sphere?
Track and field come first right now. That's the main goal. That's the main focus. Anything else around that is basically, let me see, second tier and can be dealt with at a later date. But track and field just come first for me right now.
Okay.
So don't put a lot of focus on what is going on around me. Um, I literally just take everything day by day, step by step. If something comes up that I need to deal with, I deal with it. Try get over it. But whatever that is around me that I need to deal with, I just always remember that track and field is the focus right now.
Interesting. Barushka, I will ask your question shortly. Welcome to our live. As we know, we have the record holder in the 800 meters, Mr. Navasky Anderson, with us tonight as we talk about what's happening in his sphere for this time for his 2025 season. So I think I should ask Barushka's question, one off Barushka's question first. Barushka is asking if you would be available for World Relays 2025
I think where is it is in the upcoming month.
next month. Yeah,
Uh, definitely haven't got any emails about release,
as
and
yet.
yeah, and that's all the way in China. I know a lot of people probably back out of it. I don't know what's going on, but 4x4, I love running the 4x4, but at this point of the season, that's a good question. But they don't have 4x8 running at the road race. It just be 4x4 and mixed 4x4. And I was hoping that Jamaica we could get like a solid team to be sent over there so that we could actually have a 4x4 team at the World Championships. Because it really hurt my heart to see the guys trying in Kingston last year to get the qualifying time, and we didn't get the qualifying time. So I
Oh,
just,
it's so short.
yeah,
That
yeah.
short. So
And
you're
usually the 400-meter guys, they're really like the anchor of the squad, the anchor of the team. A 4x4 team is so vital towards the success for championship team. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the 4x4 usually be the last event, and 4x4 guys always bring a lot of energy. For me, especially for me, I'm an 800-meter guy. Sometimes I fall in the 4x4 category, but it's just great knowing that you have a 4x4 team out there. So I really want the squad to be up and ready and running in Tokyo. I want to see the 4x4 and the mixed 4x4 out there. Yeah, so and
yeah.
if that comes down to Navasky and this and going to China to run, I'm gonna find that 45 split in my legs to represent. I've been doing a lot more speed work and stuff now, but I'm gonna find that because we need that 4x4 team in Tokyo. So Jamaica, please let's put our best team out there.
Is it Jamaica? Let's put our best team out there, or team in terms of guys for the who runs the 4x4 normally? We is it that we are asking them to somewhat make themselves available as best as possible to be a part of it, so that we're able to put the best out there, and so that you, as you rightfully said, have them to build that strength and that camaraderie that happens in the camp when they're there.
Yes, when I say Jamaica, I'm not just talking about the administration. I'm talking about every single Jamaican, whether you're a part of the administration or you're a member of the team. But it's gonna take, it's gonna take everybody.
All hands on deck.
It's gonna take everybody because yeah, we do need that 4x4 team, both male and female 4x4 team. We're gonna need both teams.
Definitely. Thank you for that. Barushka, that was a very good question, and I'm happy that Navasky gets an opportunity to expound on that. So, Navasky, I sat and watched you run for the first time the national record. I screamed at my TV. I didn't have any, throat voice left after watching that. I actually was bringing that, streaming that live back then in 2023 when you did it. And I mean, it was spectacular to watch you go at it and to do it. I mean, what for me, I was watching the clock, and I mean, we know what our national record was at the time was at the time. So therefore, watching you coming at it and watching the clock and screaming and like, oh my God, literally screaming. But I wanted you to tell me, what was that like for you when you ended the race and saw the time and realized for yourself that that was a national record?
Honestly, that was one of the greatest feeling because at the time the world championship standard was 145.20.
2-0.
Yes, and the national record was 145.21. I knew that was the national record. I knew that was the standard, but honestly, I was just focused on one thing. I totally forgot about the time I needed to run. I was so locked in. I was just focused on winning. I was focused on the execution. Coach and I, we sat down weeks and weeks. We played this over and over. We knew exactly what we're going to expect. I knew exactly who was going to lead the race, exactly who was going to be in second. Played it over and over, weeks and weeks in my head, and I did went out there, executed well, and after I could, you're in the middle of the race when you're running, you could feel the pace because I have to know what 12.5 feel like. I have to know what 12.7 feel like. I have to know what 13 seconds feel like. I have to know if it's too fast or too slow. So I could tell without looking at the clock if I'm actually going fast or if I'm actually going slow. I could tell by when I reach at 500 if I need to pick it up, 600. So I could tell the race is already fast. I could tell like I never run this fast before. And so I know it was gonna be like, yeah, I know it was gonna be something fast. And just when I went through the line and I was there, I saw the winner run 144 something. Well, yeah,
7-3, I think.
144.7.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 144.7.
Yeah,
And I knew I
7-3, I think
was,
I
yeah,
remember.
I knew I was right behind. I knew I was second, so I was like, definitely did something great. And then I looked up at the clock and I was like, 145.02, and I was like, no way. I was like, the first thing came to mind is I'm going to the World Championships. I didn't realize I broke the record. I was like, I'm going to World Championships, and then I was on the track. It was like a high energy. It was like a, yeah, and then I was walking through the tunnel. And I was walking back, and Brandon Miller and I was talking about the race, and I was talking. I was like, I just broke my national record, and then I just knew it was there since 19 something, and didn't know how long it was there. And by the time I went to my coach and I checked my phone, and then I saw Navasky Anderson broke a 45-year-old record. I was like, what? And then it was all high energy from there.
Then you were it for everybody. Like,
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
think
you were
most
the
people saw it coming though. After the SEC championships, I think a lot of, well, after running my season opener in 146, I think that a lot of people saw it coming.
the season opener was a tell signs that okay, we are there finally. We are, well, for me, we are there finally. We're going to get it. But I mean, to actually witness you actually doing it and putting it into play and watching it come to pass was really a great feeling for me. So I just imagine how, when, as you said, you didn't even realize at first that you broke it until you start going through the tunnel, which is great. And then you moved on to breaking it again.
That's right. That's right.
you know you move on to breaking it again, which for me says that your aspirations of holding that is great. So kudos to you, and that's why I call you one of the greats, especially in that aspect of life. A question was asked about you: what advice would you have for high school students that thinking about going to college abroad?
Um, for one, I definitely support the collegiate system because uh, it provides you with a international educational international education base per se. That is really of high value, especially going to certain dominant institution in the US. They definitely do a lot, especially if you're on a full scholarship. They literally cover everything for you, cover Medicare, they cover all your flights, make sure you have your meals, you get monthly money, your stipend. You know, they basically provided me with everything that I needed to transition into the athlete that I am today. And for one, you're going to get your degree, you're going to get your education. And as much as you love running, you love track and field, that is going to last for a lifetime. So imagine you're able to you're able to get your education, but at the same time, you're able to chase your athletic goals. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win situation. I'm not saying you cannot do that in Jamaica, but it's a win-win situation. I mean, if you have a great coach in Jamaica, I also support the Jamaican system. You know, a lot of great athletes train in Jamaica. Like most of our sprinters or great sprinters train in Jamaica, Jamaican coaches. But for me, let's just say for me, um, I really enjoyed going to college and getting my degree, and at the same time being able to chase my athletic goals. That's something I always wanted to do, and I put myself in that position. I took my opportunities when I got them, and I definitely support the system. It's definitely not a no-no. It's a yes, let's go system. And so if you want to stay in Jamaica, that's great. But also if you want to go overseas at a really great institution and chase your goals, that's also something
Great
really
choice.
good. Yeah.
So now that you have answered the part of you telling young athletes if they are given the opportunity to go overseas to college, they should take it. Lately, or for the past, I can say for the past 3 years, I've noticed that a lot of junior athletes tend to be shifting away from going to school or continue the education per se and going pro. What are your personal views as it relates to that?
Um, definitely I know they're not making all these decisions on their own. They got parents, coaches and stuff like that. And I think it's definitely from a belief standpoint of what I can stay here and achieve. Some of them having contracts at the same time. You're getting a really good contract that you feel like you can live comfortable out of, and if you see yourself expanding to turn into a great athlete and you can do it here, well, yes. But if you see that the American system might be the best system, if you see that the NCAA system might be the best system for you, you know, can have that support, because some athletes going to have the support from the contract that they're going to get, that they're going to receive. If you feel like that is sufficient enough and you can make a living out of this, you can make a life out of this, you can transition out of this, then this is the right situation for you. But at the same time, if you need that additional support and you're not getting that contract that you think you need or deserve, I think the NCAA system might be the right system for you. But if you get in the contract, yeah. But so that's how I view it. That's
Okay,
just my thoughts, though.
that's just your thoughts. Understandable. Thank you for that. Was there ever a time where you had to perform under pressure? And if so, how did you cope with that, or how did you come through that?
To perform under pressure a lot of times, especially with injuries and a lot of different pressure. But it's easy to cope with for me. I just do this.
Now we know why that glasses is there.
Yeah, just turn off the brain, turn off everything, and just run. Because despite what's going on around me, as I said, run is always gonna be there. So just run, you know, just run.
Interesting. Someone wanted to know where your mom or dad got the name Navasky from,
My
if you are
mom,
aware.
definitely my mom. My mom told me it means power and born to be great. So yeah,
So
that's what.
you are living the realness of what your name stands for.
Yeah, I'm trying to live up to my expectations. You know,
You're trying to live up to your expectations or mom's expectations.
but then my name,
The name
Navasky, yeah,
Navasky,
it's written in heaven with the golden pen. So I have to live up to the name Navasky, power and born to be great. So
born and born to be great.
yeah,
Interesting. Interesting. Tell mom that she chose right.
yeah, I know she's watching. So
Definitely. Mom, you chose right with that. Thank you so much for that. What inspires you on and off the track?
definitely my mom, number one inspiration. Um, my goals, cause some not every day get up and like yes, let's do this. Some days it's like it's gonna be rough, especially when it's cold. Oh, I've had some really bad cold days out here, so but yeah, just keep going. But when I look back at where I'm coming from, the reason why I'm doing this, the goals that I set for myself, and when I set my goals at the beginning of the season, I'm just gonna keep going after it. Win, lose or draw, still gonna keep going after my goals. So my family, my goals, and just for me, because I love doing this. I love doing this. I enjoy doing it. Um, it's a lifestyle now. I live it. Everywhere around me. It's track and field, and I just embrace it. I just embrace it. So that's my motivation. And
It's
I know a lot of people reach out to me all the time for advice and stuff like that. A lot of people been keeping track of my progress, my journey. A lot of people see where I'm going because I've been training at such a high level for such a long time, and I'm getting older. I'm maturing. I'm gaining more experience at every level. All of these meets that I've been going, so I think I'm putting it together. But eventually I'm gonna see that result that I desire. But I just gotta keep on working. I can't stop working. Just have to keep on working
keep on working
and believing and trusting.
and
Yeah.
trusting. The fact that you have to keep on working, believing, and trusting. My next question is, what do you see as your strength and your weakness as an athlete? If there's any weaknesses for you that you've seen.
My strength is my will to be consistent despite what happens. That is my greatest strength. And sometimes I just feel mentally just strong, just the willpower just to go after it, like risking everything. I'm gonna do that. A lot of races I'll go out there, I'll go crazy, my system end up blowing, but yeah, that's just me. I'm gonna go after it. A lot of races, just sit back, trust myself. But this despite what happened, I'm gonna get up the next day. I'm gonna go do that run. I'm gonna get up the next day. I'm gonna go to training. I'm gonna get up the next day. I'm gonna keep on doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm not just gonna get up and give up on myself. So despite what happened, what result, where I'm at, I'm gonna keep going, and that's my greatest strength. Um, when it come on to weaknesses, um, I would say I get injured easy a lot, and that's something I've been focused on the last 2 years, just to reduce all of that, because I would just don't want any setbacks. Injuries just come up with a lot of setbacks and stuff, and when I say in I get injured a lot, I'm talking about like I have to pay a lot of attention and focus on the things that I need to do in order to stay. like silky smooth and injury free at all times. But I've been doing a great job so far. I just have to consistently be on that. And sometimes whenever I lose focus on that, I feel like this is why I might be feeling this, or this is why I might be feeling that. So I take full responsibility. So now I have to stay on top of all of that.
Okay, understood. If you had to give an advice to a young long sprinter, a young athlete who thinks that, I want to do the 800, but I don't know, what would your advice be to that athlete or that person?
Definitely, I see why a lot of long sprinter these days might be, like, no, I don't like the 800 might be because all my life I was going
1500?
around it. I didn't, for some reason, I just didn't like it. Didn't like the 800. And so when I went to junior college, my coach was like, listen, every week he used to give me like 3, 4 races to run at track meets. And one track meet, he was like, you're running one race today. You don't have to worry about nothing else. And I was like, what am I running, coach? He was like, you're running the 800 meters. And I just want you to do one thing. Just give it your all, give it your best, give it your 100%. And that's when I made up my mind that, for once in my life, I'm gonna just accept it and attack it. So I would say just give it a chance. You might be surprised from the result that you get from it. So I would say definitely give it a chance, and it won't, it will hurt you for sure, but it's gonna make you better. It is gonna hurt, but it's gonna make you a better person, mentally and physically. Because after you're gonna be so tough, you're gonna attack anything in life. It's
So
gonna
it,
hurt, but
so it
don't be
will
afraid.
hurt, but it will be worth it.
It will be worth it. It's gonna make you a stronger athlete. It's gonna be mentally tough, physically tough, but it's gonna make you better. And what you have to do with that pain, when you start feeling that pain in the 800 meters, you have to embrace the pain. You cannot run away from it. The moment you start running away from the pain, that's when you start going backwards. Embrace the pain, keep pushing, keep going forward. Just accept it and attack it. As simple as that.
Accept it and attack it. It will hurt, but it will be worth it. I like that. My next question, Barsh would ask a question, and I'm going to coin this question based on his question. He says, how does Jamaica J3A support you as an overseas athlete? If you don't wish to answer, it's your choice.
I will pass this question.
Barshud, I choose, I made sure I asked the question so that I didn't miss the question. So I just
Okay.
wanted to ask the question so he didn't think that I deliberately chose not to ask it.
Yeah,
Okay. Right,
ask this question.
right. So as we come down to a wrap, right, we have a game here where we play what we call Fast Five or fantasy games. Fantasy games, I get to ask you questions and you answer according to your liking and according to what you know.
Okay.
Right? Okay. So first question is, in the off season, what do you do for fun?
Off season. It's crazy because the off season is so short.
That's why you have to do something for fun in the off season because it's so
Definitely.
short.
I always go back to Jersey, New Jersey. If Because during the season I always go to Jamaica. So during the off season, tend to go to New Jersey to spend some time with my family in Jersey and see my friends and past coaches in New Jersey and stuff like that. So I'm always in New York or New Jersey in the off season, and definitely go out with my friends and stuff like that. Chill with my family, do barbecues. Definitely have a good time. Definitely have a good time. Just enjoying the time with my friends and my family. My friend Sadiki that was here, he's from Jersey, so I always link up with him. We just have a good time in Jersey.
Okay, so you like to have a good time. You like to go to Jersey and enjoy that time.
Yeah, New Jersey, New York is always my off season time.
Name me your favorite male and female athlete.
Favorite male and female athlete. All right. So I think I have favorite male athlete. I have three favorite male athletes.
Okay, go ahead.
We
Can
just
name them.
work with all three. Definitely have to go with Usain Bolt. Definitely have to go with David Rudisha. And I definitely have to go with Sir Donald Quarry. Yeah, I have a great relationship with Sir Donald Quarry whenever I travel and spend time together, either lunch or dinner time or something like that. Talk about 400-meter races, talk about 800-meter races and stuff like that. He always tell me about this. You're gonna need this speed if you're gonna run the 800. So actually, in Commonwealth Games, he's like, okay, you need to be running at this 4x4. Um, yeah, he was giving me pointers, giving me tips, being there for me, being in a corner and stuff like that. And growing up, just hearing his legacy, watching him run, and just being there at a point in my life where I can say, like, I'm literally here talking to Sir Donald Quarry. Like, is this even real? You know what I'm saying? So it was just like a real moment. And yeah, he's one of my favorite athletes, along with Usain Bolt, David Rudisha. Met David Rudisha in Budapest 2023. We actually had like a 15-minute conversation. It was like really cool. It was really chill. And I remember in 2012, one of the first photos I posted on Instagram, on Facebook, was with Usain Bolt. Half of it was Usain Bolt, half was David Rudisha. And I was showing it to him and just telling him stories like, I've been following you for years. I've watched all your races. I always wanted to be like you. And he just being there motivating me and just telling me stories and stuff like that. It was just, that was a real moment too. So
Great.
definitely. And female athletes, I love Mommy Rocket, Shelly and Fraser. She's so cool. She's cool. If you ever chill around Shelly, just the whole vibe around Shelly, and just yeah, she's really cool, and I admire her. So yeah, Mommy Rocket, favorite female athlete. That's her.
That's her.
Hmm.
Kudos to Mommy Rocket right there. Name me one athlete that you would love to run against, compete with, that you have not yet competed with.
I've not yet competed with. As race, definitely race Marco in a 800. I've faced him.
Marco is out of it. Marco is out of it. I mean, you
Frequent.
guys train together, used to.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
we want to see that matchup because we see that in the training aspect of life. But that one athlete that you're like, I
Yeah.
mean, I would love to.
But it's crazy though. We always hope that when we go to world championships and stuff like that, that they put us in the same heat. And in like all season, we're just practicing. You go to the front, I just stick right behind you. You just pull me through. We're just always thinking like that, but we're just never in the same heat. But yeah, so we and just never ever raced. But somebody would race in the 800 that I've never raced. I've hmm, let me see, because I've been racing since 2022 on the
Mm-hmm.
senior level, and I've raced a lot of the older guys, and then pretty much raced all the newer guys. In the 800 meters, who have I not raced? Hmm.
Okay, let me turn it then.
Yeah, because I've
Name,
raced a lot. I've raced a
name
lot
me,
of guys.
name me a long sprint, Jamaican sprinter that you would love to be running with.
Like a 400-meter guy.
Either way, four,
Like to race.
8,
Okay.
15.
Um, let me see. Long sprinter Jamaica guy that would be love to be running with. 400. Let me see. Let me see who would race in the four. You know who would race in the 400? I know I'll probably get smoked, but Kobe Taylor.
You'd love to race
Yeah,
Cubby.
I
Cubby,
really race
Cubby
Kobe.
returns. Cubby returns next month. Basically,
Yeah,
back to professional, back to the senior level in racing,
yeah. Whenever I come to Jamaica,
and
or go ahead.
therefore, we also would like to manifest that for you.
Yeah. And
So you would want
maybe
to
next
race
year
it
on the
in the
400 at Charles. Maybe next year on the 400 at Charles. Yeah. Maybe next year on the
is
400.
you really want to get smoked.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't have no problem getting smoked because it's only gonna make me faster.
Gonna make you faster,
Yeah,
definitely. Because you may
yeah,
just be, I mean, next year you may just be running against Javon Powell, Sean Bay,
yeah.
you guys, yeah.
But the
All you
craziest thing,
guys,
I always wanted to run the 400 at trials, but just my hamstrings was never in a great place to do it. Yeah,
understand.
because I was always thinking of it like in the first round, if I run 46, probably 46 high. Second round, run like 46 mid, and it just, or no, first round like run a 46 high or something like that. Go in the second round, try to squeeze out for the 45 lower, so no, 46 lower, something like that. Squeeze into the
Oh,
final.
that's a 45 low
No,
enough.
46 low. I know I can do a 46 low in the prelims and just go into the finals and just try to juice out all the 45 strength and energy. But maybe one day. But right now, I feel like so much faster. I've been doing a lot more speed work, so I feel really faster now. I feel like I'm fully blowing 400, 800 meter guy. But at the same time, I'm doing a lot of strength work. So it's been like strength speed. It been like this. So I've been working on both systems a lot this year. So I'm
Never,
really
you realize you just said you list out all three your timings that you'd have run the rounds. I thought you were going to stop at the semis. You move yourself into that top 83
into the
finals.
finals. Yes, I'm never ever gonna count out myself because I know I
Listen,
can do
man,
it.
I am here for it. No, I am here for it.
And you
I am
know
here.
what?
I'm
Next
here
year
for
you're
it.
gonna see me do it. That's
I'm
gonna
here
be
for
one of
it.
my goals for next year.
Or even if you don't run it at the trials for the complete 3 rounds,
Yeah,
maybe you could come down and run at one of those velocity fest meets or one of the all
yeah,
covers meets into they have the rounds to it, and
yeah.
we can get there and see it happen. I mean, it's a good one. Good
Definitely.
stuff.
Because I train for
Definitely.
it all the time, so it only makes sense.
Only makes sense,
Yeah.
definitely. So, because you're speaking about that 400-meter fantasy, I want you to make your fantasy 4x4 team for me.
All right,
And
for
yeah, your fantasy 4x4 team, Jamaica team.
all right.
Especially that we want the team to be there and to get the best team. If you
You
were
talk
supposed to make that team, what would it
you're
be?
talking about for this year or back or like
Well,
past?
for this year, yes, a fantasy 4x4 this year.
Ah, you know what? Let me do in the past. Because I have too much friends for this year. I'm gonna do in the past.
Vasquez said, let him do the pass.
Yes, because I don't
This
want
is
my friends
now, Vasquez, your
my
friends
friends
will
gonna get at
understand.
me.
It's called fantasy. It is the same way when you create your fantasy football team on the game. We're creating the fantasy 4x4 team in a game view. It is
But this
not the actual thing. It's just a fantasy, guys. A fantasy. Don't beat Navasky for
I know that. That's right. But I cannot count any of my friends out.
it.
You get what I'm saying? I can't
But-
count anybody out. And there's a lot of them in that. Lot of them in that.
and we can made two teams. Put two teams
All right,
together.
let's go back. Let's say 2 years ago or from 2 years back. This is the team I would go with if it's like from 2 years back or a year. Yeah, anything from last year back. I would go with. You can't leave out Akeem Bloomfield, Nathan Allen.
No, Akim Bloomfield and Nathan Allen wasn't there last year.
Two,
No. So,
two years back.
all right. No. Okay. All right.
All right.
Let's make it
You
better.
want for this
All
year?
right. Let's make it better. So, like what last year came and passed, I would never get the opportunity to make the team. Put that team. If you had the opportunity to make a fantasy 4x4 team
For
to
last year.
to run last year to try to, I want you to make the fantasy team to put out at when we try to make the time at when we had the guys trying to make the time at the trials. Put that team together. So you have anybody you can choose now to put the team together. To in your mind, you're saying if this team was a team in this way together, you feel like we would have made that time even at that last minute.
Okay.
So the time it gone already, so they
All
won't
right.
slap.
And Javon Powell on that first leg.
Okay.
Javon Powell on that first leg. And I would have kept Kemar Ferguson and that ankle leg. Because all season he consistently was running like 44.2, 44.3.
Agree with you.
Was running great. There's a lot more guys could go in the middle. I wish if Antonio Watson was in form last year, if he wasn't injured, would have been a great person for that team. But also I'd have put Sean Bailey in the third leg. Sean Bailey in the third leg. For the second leg, a lot of guys could go. Watkin could go. Roden could go.
A four make a team now.
I say a four make it.
You're going with 7 and a four make
Yeah,
a
with
team.
seven.
A four make a team.
Um,
but your first four.
Bling. Huh? That's my
Your
first
four.
So Javon Powell, honestly, I don't know who I'm leaving out, but I hope I'm not leaving out any of my friends. But I would say Javon Powell, from Powell to Roden for last year. This I'm talking about last year based on who I can remember that was in shape. So don't kill me, guys. So from Powell to Roden to Bailey to
You said Ferguson.
To Ferguson. Because at this point, I know all those guys guaranteed the second, third, fourth guaranteed a 44-2, 44-3 split. And I know Javon Powell can get out the blocks. I've seen him get out the blocks. Literally like 45 low. Getting out the blocks is really good. That's exceptional. So I think that team would have cemented our spot in Paris.
Making the time.
Yeah, making the time to Paris. And after that, I forget Rashawn Clarke. Do you see?
No, but then again, I mean, as we said,
based
on what they were doing last season.
Based on what I could have remembered now.
Yeah.
Based on
and as Sandy said, Jamaica should have 3 4x4 teams. I mean, without problems, we have the guys that can make 3 good teams, 3 or even 4 teams to put out there and figure it out and stuff like that.
Yeah, we have a lot of people. We have a lot of people that could have done it. I'm not leaving out anybody. Even put me on it, surprisingly.
We even put you on it. The second to last fantasy, I'm going to give people's sports his fantasy. He wants you to build, for me to ask you about a 4x800 meter. If for example, they decide that a 4x800 would happen, what would your thoughts be? Who would you like to see, if so, be on a 4x800 meters?
Okay. Tyrese Roden on the start leg. I would have to start our Tyrese because both of us are aggressive. So I'll put Tyrese on the start leg. Based off this year or last year?
He just said what about a 4x8?
4x8. Let me.
Necessarily.
I'll go Tyrese Roden. I'll go Tyrese Reed. I would go Rivaldo.
Marshall.
And then to me. Then
so
I'll take you home.
So you give everybody the work and you just bring it home.
No, it's not, because remember we're gonna be racing against Kenyans.
So that's why everybody, get up there and then you have to just bring it home in terms of because of would definitely be on those ankle legs from those aspect of things. Okay, understood. Name me 2 records or a record or records that you would love to see go in 2025 season. It don't have to be record for Jamaica in terms of a Jamaica record. Can be whether it be Jamaica record or globally.
Okay. 100 not going, 200 not going, 400 not going.
Hold up, where?
I'm taking
you just read those out quickly now.
The 1500 meter record is moving. Incorbitson is going to break the 1500 meter world record. I
Inga
think
Britain.
so. Based on how the season have been going, if you just stay consistent, I think you can break the 1500-meter world record. Um, and I think the 800-meter world record is at the brink of breaking.
Of being broken. I agree with
Yeah,
that. I mean, I must watch Inga Britson breaking that 1500 record. Thank you for that. That
yeah,
I never had that on my watch for
yeah,
2025, but it's now
definitely.
on my watch. You said the 100 not going to 200 meters, meaning the men. So what about the females? You always leave out the
But
females. The females exist, you know.
the females, the 100 is rough. Everybody know the 100 world record is rough.
10:49. I mean, Elaine Thompson had past tense run 10:54. I mean 10:49, even though it's far. I mean that kind of give us a little hope. You don't think that somebody can come and break it? I mean, we for years we say that it is rough. It's never possible. But after seeing 10:54, you don't think it's possible again for someone to come and break it?
Um, I was talking about this year. I would just like to get some more, to see more consistent. Like, remember when Shelly was just like
10,
10 6
10,
10 6 10 6. Elaine was 10 6 10 5. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, this probably going. But you've seen that now, you could believe, like, you could be like, all right, it's probably going this year. I feel like the 200-meter can go, especially if Sharika Jackson in great form and stuff like that. That could go. 400-meter world record females. No, this year.
Not this year.
So,
Unless the goal decide to come. I mean, it's not to say not this year. I mean,
I mean, anything can happen, cause yeah,
because
anything
there
can
is,
happen.
I mean, the ladies
Yeah,
is putting themselves, is
yeah,
gearing themselves up back into that world. So we
yeah,
would love to see some records go again. I mean, it's been a while some records have dropped, other than the pole vault that goes every second.
yeah.
But interesting for
But if I'm to be sure, if I would give myself 80% chance in saying one record that's going, I'd put it on the men's 1500 meters
and you put it on Inga Britson.
increment.
Inga Britson. Last fantasy, because you have been just giving me for the males. If you had to create a 4x100 meters now, not 4x4 side, because I no longer want anyone to beat you, because you have all your
Yeah,
friends
yeah,
in that side. So let's just move away from that side so you don't get much beaten, right?
yeah.
No more. If you had to make a fantasy 4x100 meters for women, who is it that you would like to see, would love to see on that, or who it is that you would put on that
Okay.
current crop of athletes?
Oh, current crop of
So
athletes.
don't come back and come tell me now say you want a
Okay.
Veronica Campbell Brown and a
Oh,
Karen right? Yeah,
current crop.
current crop.
I'm definitely. Let me tell you what I'm doing. I would put so this is it. This team is probably Sharika Jackson on the anchor leg. No, Sharika on the anchor, right? I would put Shelley and Fraser Price to start. Elaine Thompson on the back stretch, and third leg I would put. Honestly, I'm gonna put
Kimber on the third leg.
Kemba Nelson on the third leg.
Can I ask one question though? Why would you put Elaine Thompson on the second leg and Sharika on the ankle leg?
Um, if I don't know, you remember watching, I think Doha 2019. The first time I seen Sharika Jackson on an ankle leg, and that's one of the smoothest thing I've ever seen. Just try watch Doha 2019
So
4x1 finals.
you are putting Sharika on an ankle leg based on Doha after
And she's a 400-meter athlete.
That is why I ask why you put
Yeah,
her. That's why I ask you that question, because being the 400-meter athlete, don't you think that, I mean, the second leg would have been a better one? Case in point, Alyssa Felix is a 400-meter athlete, and every time she would go on US 4x1, that's where she would go. So that's
Um.
why I ask you, because you more understand in terms of your long sprinters, personals. That's why I asked that question.
Okay. definitely most, I would say most, based on what I've seen, most quarter milers, they have the power and the strength to, as I said before, to anchor the team, to anchor the team. So Sharika is super fast. I mean, she can run 10-6 any day. You know what I mean? Can run 10-6, 10. She run 10-7 consistently. She can run 10-6 any day now. She's
One
really
time
fast.
front 10-6 though.
Huh?
One time front 10-6.
Yeah, but she run 10-7 consistently. And nobody's not gonna catch Sharika if Sharika get the baton before them. And if somebody get the baton before them, depending on who she's gonna catch that person. But the backstretch, I feel like with Elaine's impeccable form, just like clean form, with Shelly and start on the first leg. Shelly and she have a really great start, just going out with that start, give Elaine with that nice clean form, move down the back straight, and then third leg, Kemba Nelson bring it to Sharika is just like a great 4x1 team. That's my fantasy 4x1
I'm,
team.
I'm going
It's gonna
I'm
be
going to
hard to
leave
beat
you
that
with
team.
your I'm going to leave you with your fantasy because I did say it's your fantasy.
That's
If I
right.
was supposed to take your fantasy four and put them together now, if I'm supposed to use your fantasy four, that wouldn't have been my order in your fantasy.
What would have been your order?
Definitely. I mean, one, definitely a fit Elaine for me would be the anchor. Definitely. Um, I could use a Shelley and Fraser Price right there on the start leg, but I would put a Sharika Jackson on the second leg. Any day for me, I would put Sharika Jackson on the second leg, and definitely any day for me, I would put Elaine, or and if I had to change that in terms of moving Elaine from the ankle leg, if I had to change that, then the ankle leg would definitely then go again to Shelley and Fraser Price. I wouldn't put Sharika Jackson on my ankle leg in that for those four ladies that you use. I would also, however, replace one of your persons, that is you using Kemba Nelson. I would replace Kemba Nelson with either Alana Reed or a Tia. Current crop of athletes, based on the fact that you go with current crop of athletes, I would do that. But it is your fantasy team.
Yeah.
It's your fantasy team, but I could have used a fantasy team. I could use your same four and beat your lineup. That's all I'm
I
saying.
mean, I mean, we have a lot of people. I don't want to leave anybody out. Brianna's a great athlete. Alana, great athlete. Twins, you could put any one of them on it. Yeah, we have a lot of great athletes, but just what I'm thinking about at the time, and how I was seeing Sharika run that 4x100 meter ankle leg in 2019. I know she will always have that strength, that energy. She will always have that in her. You know what I'm saying? And just seeing her replicate it over and over. And if you look, realize Sharika is always on the ankle leg when it comes to the 4x1.
That I mean, questions is left out with that. I mean, the time when we first time used Sharika on that ankle leg, I mean, we needed that assistance, and then we end up had to make her run the 4x4 in the same race, in the
Yeah.
same championship. So it is understandable. And then since after that, she has been there. However,
Yeah.
persons have
Since
different views on that.
yeah, since
I will
after
leave you with your fantasy,
yeah.
please, sir.
After that should be running the 200 and the 100 meter. And I'm not sure if this is why, but I feel like it's because of that race. I feel like that's why she dropped down to the 100 and the two. I'm not sure. Next time I see Sharika, I'm gonna have to ask her, but she's a great athlete, and that's one of my favorite races to watch.
That race when Sharika anchored the team.
Yeah, that race was silky smooth.
That's why you still have. That's the race you have in your head.
Yeah, that when you say women 4x1, that's the first race. The hot one,
that's
20.
that's what that's what that's what that's what you go back to.
That's
Interesting.
what I go back to.
Thank you so much again for joining us. Hi, Prisnell. Welcome. Prisnell, you missed their answers to your questions that you had for Navasky, but he did answer them, and I will give you your answers to them. One of those questions, Navasky, Prisnell wanted to know about you running, suggesting and wanted to know about you running more 1500s. So
Yeah,
I'll definitely send him, and I'll send you his response to the questions that you had, Priscilla, and I'll send you his encouragement that he had for you also, Navasky, so that you can hear it. That there are so many of us that is watching you, or that have you, I mean, in our eye viewpoint, and have been wishing for the best and the greatest things for you. And we wish that you will continue along that pathway and continue growing as you go in your faith and in your strength, and continue being the person that you are. And we really, really is happy to see you grow, and we are happy to see the things that you are manifesting for yourself to manifest out in the open, and we are also here manifesting them with you and stuff. Prisoner said to tell you to keep up the good work,
bless,
bro. Definitely, because we are here with you, and we appreciate the fact that the things that you do for the country, and you wear the black, green, and gold really, really well. I remember one of the things Prisoner said is that he wanted to thank you for showing him, in 2024 Olympic season, he got a view of other athletes through your eyes,
that's right.
because you were doing that. All the crazy things that was happening in Paris, he actually felt comfortable based on watching your lives that you were doing and your showings, and that was a really good thing for him, so that we were able to see another side of our athletes. So therefore, even though sometimes we don't get to tell you guys personally thanks, we appreciate the things that you do when you represent the country. And for me, and I know for Prisnell also, we appreciate the way in which you represent the black, green, and gold, and you fly that flag high. And we thank you so much for that. And we pray that you will continue to do that and continue to go for. And we wish for you a healthy 2025 season. Definitely.
Thank you very much. Sending my
Definitely.
best regards and really appreciate the love and the continuous support, because it really means a lot. And that's a huge source of motivation as well. And yes, I really love and appreciate that. And whenever I get the opportunity, I know a lot of people, it's their dream to go to World Championship games, to go to like um, World Olympic games and stuff like that. A lot of people only like see the races; they don't get to see the behind the scenes. What athletes have to go through, what they have to think about. So I try as best as I could, just abiding by my schedule and everything whenever it was deemed appropriate. I just try to show the country and show the world, like this is what the process is like. This is what you could expect. This is what the vibe is like. This is what the energy is like, and this is the reality of everything. And at least don't just get up in the morning and just go and race, but we also have a lot of responsibilities, a lot of things that we have to take care of. Being in the village, a lot of responsibilities when it comes down to gears, bibs, number, the registering the spikes you have to wear weeks in advance. So you have to take everything into consideration. So I try to show the world as much as I could, and I really gain a lot of support and encouragement. And I must say thank you to everybody who have been encouraging and supporting. And I must say it meant a lot. And yeah,
Definitely. We are here with you, and we wish you all the best for 2025 season. We thank you also here at Track and Field Talk and the family. Thank you for coming on over and giving us some of your time, and just for us to get to know you and to talk to you. You're so easy to talk to. We thank you for that and for being here in our comfort zone. You have found another new family added to your original set of families that you have. You do have families over here. We call ourselves families and not just fans, but we are
I
families and supporters, and we are here for you and here with you. So all the best for the 2025 season, and we see you back here soon.
appreciate it.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. Sure. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to you all who have joined us. We thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you being here with us, and we thank you for just coming on and having a conversation with us as we speak to the national record holder in 800 meters. There's so much things that he's manifesting for his 2025 season, and we here are also manifesting that with him and hope and wish for him all the best for that. Personally, he says that in his 2025 season, he will be doing more 1500s, and he's also thinking of actually doing the 1500 at trials. So that is something possible to look forward to. He's also thinking about doing even the 400 meters once it comes in tandem in his training and in his lining. He has been doing so. So we wish him all the best to see that. He is also thinking about doing other things so as to continue to help him to grow and to strengthen him as he go along, especially in the 2025 season. So once again, we thank you so much for joining us. We thank you all for being here with us. Please remember, if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, we ask that you go right ahead and subscribe. Also, remember to click the notification bell so that you don't miss anything when we are on. We'll definitely be back here on next week, Monday, with another exciting interview and another exciting athlete. You just may not know if your athlete will be next. So remember to just continue to stay locked in. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to you all, wherever it is that you joined us from, or whenever it is that you have listened to this program. We thank you so much. We are grateful and honored that you decided to join us here at Track and Field Talk whenever we go live. So have yourself a great day. If you're walking, be safe. If you're home, continue to be safe. And if you're on your way driving home, please be safe on the road as you go along.